Here is the last ticket I purchased, and here is the result. Pay attention to the first three lines, A, B, and C. Do you see it? 21 and 22 was picked for the first three lines, matching the results as 11 and 10 are also matched. 9 was also picked for the first two lines, and 5 was picked for the second. These two numbers are highly significant, as I'll explain later. I was able to predict three numbers on three lines, and the odds of predicting 3 out of 6 is highly improbable, about 45 to 1. I just did it with 3 lines, even more improbable. You are probably asking, how did I come so close, and how this will help you pick your future combinations? Well, I'm about to explain it, and for the first time, you're going to believe that it won't be a question of if, but when you're going to win the lottery. Sit back and relax, because this will shock you. Flip a coin, and you have a 50-50 chance of it hitting either heads or tails. Flip it again, and you have the same probability. But what if you were to flip it 10 times in a row? How many times will it hit heads, and how many times will it hit tails? What if every time you flip a coin, it always comes out to be heads, and you flip it for the 11th time? What happens then? Will it be heads, or will it be tails? Even though you have the same probability of 50-50, you most likely guess tails. If the coin happens to be balanced, it would have to mix in heads and tails accurately at some point. So if it hits heads 10 times in a row, and the 11th time you flip the coin and it turns out to be heads again, then the coin is not balanced. That makes logical sense. The lottery works the same way. If you were to look at past results, look for a number that appears 3 or 4 times in a row. The probability of that number hitting 5 times in a row is highly improbable. And that makes sense, considering that if, let's say, the number 25 comes up 4 times in a row, and it comes up again the 5th game, and maybe even the 6th game, then obviously there's something wrong with that particular ball. Before you start, pay attention to the history part of any website that will give you past results, and you'll realize that there is one similarity between one game to the next game, and that is that there is always 1 or 2 numbers that will appear again or will be off by 1 for that week. The other thing that you will also notice is that for each line, there is always a number in sequence. For example, 21 with 22, 29 with 30, 32 with 33, and so on. This will greatly increase your chance of winning the lottery. Now pay attention to the ticket that I showed earlier, and you will notice that I brought up the number 5 and the number 9. Notice that those two numbers were off by 1. This is where you will need to start guessing. That was my guess, and it turns out that I was wrong, but I was definitely within the area. Here is the result that I got from that particular ticket. And I'm going to simplify this as much as possible, because if I was to try to explain this in detail, this video will take forever. So it's better for me to just show you, and these are the results that I am going to offer you on a week-to-week basis. All you need to do is subscribe, and you'll come to realize that I'll be offering up results, and these results are accurate, nothing to hide. So what can you take from this? What I have is I have 3 sets of numbers, and those numbers are 3, 4, 9, 10, 20, and 21. So these 3 groups of numbers are the coin scenario. So think of it like, looking for either heads or tails. And let's say that these 3 sets of numbers are heads, right? And that's heads being flipped 10 times in a row, and we're looking for that 11th tail. So we're looking for that 11th flip that should result with tail. So again, looking at the results, you'll see the results as being 4, 10, 11, 12, 21, and 22. Now, I knew at this point 22 was going to repeat from the game before, and I knew that one was going to be off by one, and that's the number 21. There are a lot more results here, but these are the basic ones, right? So what I did is I just flipped it, and I knew that there was going to be a probability, and that is a high probability, of the coin flipping to tails, and that's the result. Now, it took me many years to get to this part of the game. Well, it took me many years to do the research, and I had a programmer design me a software that was able to find these results, and I am willing to share this with anyone who is interested. So when the results came out this time, it was not a surprise for me, but it might be a surprise for you. If you are serious about winning the jackpot, this is the only way that this is going to work for you. You can't guess it, and to purchase a ticket guessed by the software at the local gas station is not going to cut it. So if you are interested, please press that subscribe button and receive an email every time I post one of these videos, giving you the only chance to win the jackpot.